What up guys, Phantom here with my 4th episode of my F1 2019 career mode as we are going to Shanghai International Circuit for the 4th round of the F1 2019 season.
Welcome to Shanghai, China for what I've no doubt is going to be a fantastic F1 qualifying session. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
As we come along here in late in Q1, we're sitting 17th. We set a pacer on the mediums as we're down in the regulation zone here as we enter the long turn 1. As we come to the end of the lap, at the end of there, we are P18, but we will be P12 and finish P13, 2 spots behind our teammate Grosjean. As Stroll, Albon, Giovinazzi, Kubica, and Russell all get knocked out of Q1. As we come down here through the last corner of Q2 here, as this will be our only and final lap, we are sitting in P10, and which is not very comfortable position to be in. So we enter the last corner here as we're P11, so it's a good thing we came out for the last lap, and we're going to finish P8 and move on to Q3. As you see here, Hülkenberg, Grosjean, Raikkonen, Kvyat, and Perez all got knocked out of qualifying. As we move on to Q3, as we go through the last corner here, this is early in the session, but it will be our best lap. I kind of botched the lap at the end of the session, so this will be our real only lap here in Q3 as we come to the last corner and down the straight. And we will be P6 at the time, but we will get knocked down all the way to P10 and be 4 tenths and really be the only one without really be by ourselves here. We're 4 tenths. Everybody's within a second and a half of pole sitter Hamilton.
So make sure you join us then. It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. Shanghai International Circuit then, a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience, and the flat, open to the elements location, tests their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and overtaking is available into turn 1 and of course down the kilometre-long back straight into the hairpin at turn 14. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. So, let's briefly discuss Lewis Hamilton. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Bottas, Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel and Butler, Weber, Ricciardo, Norris and de Haas, Hülkenberg, Grosjean, Kimi Raikkonen and Kvyat, Perez, Stroll, Alexander Albon and Antonio Giovinazzi. Kubica and George Russell ends our grid lineup, and with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
As we are here on the grid, as the 5 lights are coming on, as we're in P10, and the lights are out, and we get a pretty average, maybe even a little bit worse, because Hülkenberg got an absolute launch, and we are all the way down in P13, but we have the inside, and we're just going to ride it all the way and get squeezed by Norris there. Not very helpful there for us, because we're going to come down to this hairpin after this kink and go really deep on the brakes and just go in the inside, and he's going to actually give us some room and didn't squeeze us this time. As we come onto the back stretch, we were struggling all weekend to get turned through that corner like the AI cars, and we're getting attacked by Norris, and he's really not pulling that far, and we're kind of trying to bring him down a little bit as he outbrakes us a little bit as we go a little bit deep also, and he's going to get that position as we come down to lap 3 here on down to the back stretch, and we got Raikkonen this time breathing down our necks. We're going to try to go a little bit defensive, but he's stayed committed, and it's on the inside. We're going to try to squeeze him a little bit down there, and we brake and we went deep. We locked up and went deep, as we're just going to kind of keep the accelerator, but we're going to go side by side through this last corner and kind of squeeze him out. As we're making our pit stop early in this race on lap 4, coming on the lap 5, as we locked up mightily, and luckily there was no gravel there, or we could have Hamiltoned it. We'd lock up there, and we barely got it slowed down into the pit lane here, as we looks to be by ourselves here. Nobody's coming in this early, and we are going to rejoin back in 20th position. As we move on to the end of the lap, there will be some cars, hopefully, as you can see on the map, leaving the pit lane. And it looks like Ricciardo's going to come out, Ricciardo and Perez. We barely got around Perez there, but Ricky here with his new tires are absolutely holding me up here, as us with our lap fresher tires were steaming through and kind of held us up, and we're going to think about a move to the inside, but the AI normally don't leave you any space, and I really didn't. I thought our tires would be good enough, we could keep through the rest of the lap so we get this massive long backstretch to easily overtake him with his Renault engine against our Ferrari powered, which was pretty easy. Make sure not to overbrake, and we kind of did it anyways, locked up. As we move on to the end of the lap, well, into the next lap, is the same thing happened again, but this time Norris was a little bit ahead of us, so he's not holding us up that much, and he ended up actually getting away from us through the rest of the lap, unlike Ricciardo. But Devin Butler, for the second straight race, has retired with an engine failure. As the next lap, Perez has got the DRS, and he's going to come from a long way back here, and we are forced to go defensive, and we're able to hold it and not go too deep into the corner, as we're going to get the drive off here. But with him being so close, he's going to get the DRS down the front stretch, and we went a little bit wide. He's going to have the DRS down the front stretch, and he's going to go around the outside of us, as he got slightly ahead, but we're able to go down the inside, went a little bit wide, but we was able to keep ourselves together there. As we come onto the back stretch again, as we're catching Hulkenberg by a little bit, but we went extra defensive and tried to get out of his slipstream, and we have Rich and Hot Lap, but that's nothing compared to the Mercedes engine. But he locked up, and we went down at his inside. We went a little bit wide, which will leave us open again to the front stretch, and we went wide again, and he's right on us this time, and it looks like he's going to make the move stick this time, and we're going to have to hopefully stay up with him, which we were able to do onto the back stretch here, as his tires are a lap newer than ours. Ours are kind of falling off a little bit, but we were able to stick with him, and we have DRS, and he's going to go defensive, so we're going to try to go around the outside here. And he kind of was slow off the exit there, and so we're going to be right behind him onto this front stretch here. So we went a little bit wide and wasn't able to put the power down, but we're going to make a late dive here, but we're going to clearly make the corner. We were going to make the corner until he just turned right in on us, and basically with our old tires we couldn't really handle that, and kind of spun us out, half spun us around there, as you'll look on the replay. As we come down to the first corner here, if we made the move stick, and he kind of just pulled down on us and caused us to half spin across the track there, and we were able to not spin out and keep at least 10th position and a point. As we come onto the backstretch here, we were able, he kind of pulled away a little bit, but we were able to keep DRS, which is going to help us defend against Ricardo here and keep him out of range from lunging us. As we actually caught up to Perez in the braking zone there a good amount, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit too late as we take this last corner really well, and I think we could have had a shot into turn 1, but it's the end of the race and we get P10.
Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. With that brilliant result, Sebastian Vettel secures top spot in the Drivers' Championship. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Well, you can't fault anything that Sergio Perez did out on the track today. He drove flawlessly, making him an easy pick.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari continued to extend the gap at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.